Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Sergio here from MUSOTOKU, and today we're going to see how the new ROVER R-1 battery pack works and the new features we're including. So in this quick start guide, we will start with the package you'll receive when you get the unit. We will find a small box with 2 lithium cells, the charger, some useful information and instructions, and the battery pack. This kind of lithium batteries are standard. It's a kind of lithium cell that can be purchased elsewhere, and it's typically used for vapors. They are really powerful, made for delivering a big current injection while ensuring that the machine, the battery pack, or consumer safe from suffering any danger. The cells are 1,400 milliamperes each, with an INR 18350 flat top format. And you might be wondering, what does that mean? Well, that means what kind of battery this is. It is 18 millimeter diameter, 35 millimeter height, and flat upper and lower sides, as you can see. And so this shape is the only one that fits with the rover. The big point of using these cells is that although we are working with a brand called Vapcell, you can find this battery from other brands in different shops like Amazon, AliExpress, Free Market, or even vapor shops. But the important thing is that they have to be lithium and INR 18350 flat top. This is very important, okay? Because well, other capacities can be found and also work with the unit, but the lower capacity of the cell is, the less it will last. So now let's move on to the unit. Turning the lid from the close mark to the open, as you can see there, will let us introduce the cell, okay? Just like this, with the positive down and negative up, okay? So it should be this way. So as you know, lithium batteries suffer from aging effect, and a lithium cell will last between 200 and 300 full charges, and from that point the capacity will be reduced with each new recharge. This means that the cell has been depleted and you need to buy a new one. That's a reason that we didn't package the lithium cell inside the battery pack, but we leave it replaceable. Our philosophy, as you might know from the power supplies, is that it must last forever. When cells die after time of use, you can just get a new cell and keep using your rubber body as the first day, okay? So getting back to where we were, we will put the lid, press a bit down, and then turn to the close mark. We will see the first readout of the charge level and the cell we introduced, and it switches off, as you can see. We maintain press the red button, then another readout will appear, 30% in this case, and we will find ourselves on the voltage menu. Right button to increase the voltage, left to decrease in 0.1 volts steps. You have the full control with exact precision of 0.1 volts, but if you press and hold each button, then you can move fast up or down in 1 complete volt steps like this, okay? So you just hold down and it will go in full steps. The voltage range of the unit is from 5 volts to 12. The NITRO mode is always active, and for those who are wondering what the NITRO mode is this one. Hear this, please. Can you hear that there is like a small boost at the beginning of, you see? So it is always active, and this one we're using is very respectful with your brushless machines, okay? It does not harm your machine by no means, and it is actually on to ensure that we are having enough power to unlock any tattoo machine, so that it does not get stuck or blocked. we had to make the decision on leaving the Kickstart feature configurable by the user or not. At first, giving the choice seemed like a good idea, but we wanted to make sure, so we tested in the lab. And what we did was we put two machines in parallel, starting up and running for 10 seconds, and then stopping and start the cycle again. We measured the time spent in starting up, the power consumption and the temperature, and after 1 hour each machine had started up 360 times non-stop. The first thing that we appreciated was that the machine with the NITRO kickstart would spend less time in starting up, right? So eventually this led to a less power consumption, since starting up events is, by definition, the moment in which the machine demands more power. So this was the definite proof that the machine or the motor of the machine with the NITRO would last longer and would be healthier. For this reason, we decided not to deactivate the NITRO kickstart, because it is not only more reliable for starting up the machine, but it is more beneficial to the health of the motor. So now, as you might have seen before, to activate the unit, we will just press the red button, and what do we find here? Can you see those little points on the bottom of the display? That is the power bar sensor. And the first thing to learn is that when it is lit, it indicates that the output has been activated. The battery pack is running now. If we press the red button again, it stops. But what exactly is the power sensor bar for? It indicates consumption. It says how much power the tattoo machine is demanding in real time, and so it will help us know how much your cell will last. To understand the concept better, imagine that it is like the car consumption readout that can be seen on the dashboard. And what makes a car consume more fuel? Three things: the speed, the load we put on the car, and the grading of the road. A car running faster will consume more fuel, a car heavy loaded will consume more fuel, and a car running uphill will consume more fuel. The same goes for your machine. The higher the speed of the motor, the higher it will be the power needed. The harder the cartridge, then the higher will be also the power demanded. And finally, the harder the skin is and the pressure exerted on the body, the higher will also the power be. All this information can be read in the power sensor bar. If the fuel consumption of a car is high, then the tank will empty faster. Likewise, if the power demanded by the machine is high, the cell will empty faster too. For example, let's start the machine without any cartridge fit. It is around 3 points. When reading, in this case, the power sensor bar, we see that the power demanded is minimum. If we put the cartridge, we can see that the resistance of the membrane is making the power demand to go higher. So, depending on the cartridge we are using and our tattoo machine, the consumption will be different. And also, depending on the skin of our customer, we are also going to find some variation on consumption. Also, a good point of the power bar for the tattoo artist is that you can tell if anything is going wrong. The power sensor bar will become over time of an indicator of normality, so to speak. If it happens that you feel something different in your machine with your standard setup, you can rely on the power sensor bar to see what's the power consumption. Maybe you see here something unusual, like 3 or 4 more marks of consumption than usual. Because you're used to see what's normal in your machine, this could be an indicator of some kind of difference in your setup. Maybe the cartridge, the assembly of the machine, or some other thing that has changed. So the final idea is, the battery lasts at a maximum of about 7 hours when the power sensor bar is at like 4 marks. But if your machine demands more power than this, more power sensor marks, then the cell will last proportionally less time. But hey, that's not a problem. You can recharge a fully depleted cell in 1.5 hours, and the most demanding machine won't dry a cell in such a little time. So you can work without worrying about duration, because you will always have a recharged spare cell ready. And of course, you can have unlimited cells and so unlimited hours of continuous tattooing without the need of having to recharge while tattooing. So now to see the charge level of your unit, you just have to maintain press the red button for 1 second, just like this, okay? And finally, to switch the unit off, we will maintain press the red button, and after the 3 seconds countdown, the battery switches off. Again, we will turn the lid to the open mark, and as you can see, the cell goes out as we take the lid away. We thought that when you're working, having this magnetized lid will definitely help you take that cell away. So this is it. I hope you have no doubt now that we explain how the power bar works. Anyway, we will be creating new content that you will be able to watch in a few weeks, and you have more information about the rover right in the description of this video. Thank you guys, bye.